Hey guys, welcome back. I feel like I tried a ton of products this month, so I wanted to do a roundup of everything I've tried. Most of the products I'm going to share are things I've tried on my channel this month. I'm going to do a wrap up, things that I really liked, and then things that I just think are very passable and not worth your money. I do have a couple other favorites that I didn't use this month, but I wanted to share with you anyway because I've been loving them. But hopefully you guys find this video helpful, and let's get started. If you're not already subscribed, I would love to have you. We're almost at 10K, which I'm so excited about, so go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to like this video if you do enjoy it at any point. But let's get into it. Both my hits and misses here. I wanted to do this video because I feel like I talk about so many products within the month, and sometimes I don't get to follow up on them or really give you guys my final thoughts. So I think I'm going to start doing these roundup videos. Let me know in the comments below if you like this video idea and you find it helpful and you want me to do one every month, because I think that would be cool to do. But let me know your opinion in the comments. The majority of this is makeup. I only have 2 skincare things, so I'm gonna go ahead and start with those. First is The Ordinary. This is the niacinamide 10% plus zinc 1%. Very affordable skincare. I've been trying some more affordable options for you guys because I want to do an affordable skincare video. And also I really love zinc for my skin, but the 2 serums I were using were super pricey. The Pi Zinc one's around $78, I believe, or maybe even more than that. And then the Kipr's Clearing Serum is 90 something dollars, and this is around, I'm pretty sure it's under $10. And I've been enjoying this a lot. I simplified my skincare routine because I was getting a lot of breakouts, and I've just noticed my skin. Okay. As I was saying, I think my skin is just a lot happier with a simple routine, with less heavy products and more just simple basic nutrients that it needs. Niacinamide is great for texture and acne, and so is zinc. I don't think it's good for texture, but it is a good acne treatment. So I've really been enjoying this. I think my skin likes it. It has a nice thin, it's sort of like a hyaluronic acid texture, but it's not as sticky. It layers well. It doesn't pill. I just have been really enjoying this product from The Ordinary. And then the next product is a moisturizer. I have used a whole jar of this before and really enjoyed it. I have a full video on Youth to the People. I'm thinking of doing an updated one, but I will link that right above for you guys. This is the Adaptogen Deep Moisture Cream. This is amazing if you want a more heavier moisturizer without the heavy feeling that sinks in really quickly. I just love this. I think it does give a good amount of moisture, but it layers well. It doesn't feel heavy. My skin really enjoys it. It's just one of those classic skincare products I would go back to time and time again. Skin really loves it. I love how it has peptides and reishi and adaptogens in it. Just a great moisturizer from Youth to the People. Moving right along to makeup, I wanted to start with setting powders. Now you guys have heard me talk about the Ilia powder time and time again. It is my all-time favorite powder, and I ran out of it a couple months ago and I didn't immediately repurchase it. I wanted to try other powders, see if I could find one that was similar or at least comparable to this one, and I totally failed at that. I cannot find a setting powder that I like more than this one, or even that's close to this one. I've just had such a bad streak with setting powders recently. It's also just an area like right under my eyes. I feel like I have a lot of trouble with things sitting correctly. So this powder is incredible. If you guys try anything that I recommend, please try this powder if you have problems with your under eyes not looking smooth. It's so brightening on me. It doesn't take away my concealer coverage. It just makes my under eyes look airbrushed and smooth, and along with the rest of my face. I do only use this under my eyes because I just don't want to go through it as quickly as I usually do when I use it all over my face. So I just focus this sort of in the T-zone. I do have it on today. This is an incredible powder. I don't even know how they made this powder do such amazing things, but I can't get enough of this. I'm just gonna have to accept this as something I'm gonna have to repurchase for the rest of time until I find something that's better. But so far, out of all the setting powders I've tried in my life, this is way up here, top tier powder. So as I mentioned along the way, I've tried a lot of new setting powders that just haven't been my favorite, and these 2 are some of the ones that I tried. These aren't really misses for me. I think they're really beautiful powders. I'll explain why, but I just don't like them for the under eye specifically. First is the Hourglass Veil Translucent. I've heard such great things about this powder. I think it's nice. It's super finely milled. It is talc free. Both of these are talc free powders. I love how this looks on the face. It gives a little bit of a glow. It's more if you have dry skin, or maybe if your under eyes are already, you know, they're pretty smooth. You don't have a lot of fine lines or anything textural going on under your eyes. I think this might work for you. I know a lot of people do like it, but for me, it accentuates the lines and dryness, and it just personally does not look good on my skin. Although I like it on the face, it's a pass for the under eyes. And I basically have the same thoughts about the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder as well. It's that same thing. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, and I think because of that, it doesn't look good on the under eyes. I would say any sort of powder that has a sheen, I'm just not a fan of for the under eye area. I feel like I've said under eye a million times for the past minute, but this all over the face, beautiful. I have it all over my face today. I think it's a great talc-free setting powder. Again, if you don't really have a huge problem with your under eyes, you might enjoy this, but for me, not a fan. I also wanted to mention sort of a dupe product that I found. This is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. I feel like this is a dupe for both the Cover FX translucent one and the Hourglass. Oh my god, I just dropped it. Veil powder. This one, I think this is actually talc free. I saw this at Target and I wanted to pick it up. It looks beautiful over the face. I like to use it on my face, but I wouldn't go for this for under the eyes. But I wanted to mention this in case you wanted a more glowy powder but didn't want to splurge. I've actually been really enjoying this one. Moving along to primers and foundations. I haven't featured this on my channel yet, but this is the new Lila B Glow Priming Oil. I really like this. If you have dry skin, I think you would love this because it is really moisturizing. It leaves you with a very dewy finish. I have more normal to oily skin, so personally this isn't like my absolute favorite primer, but I didn't want to recommend it to normal to drier skin types. I think you would really like this. It doesn't feel too heavy on the skin. Sometimes I use this on the perimeter of my face and kind of just avoid that center area where I get oily, and it looks really beautiful. It makes foundation go over it really smoothly. And I'll show you guys the texture. It does have a pump. It doesn't actually look like an oil. I kind of like how they made it like a little bit lotiony. As you can tell, very glowy. But yeah, that was about it. I think this is a nice primer for you normal to drier skin people. And then of course we had the new Bite Beauty complexion product launch this month, which I feel like a lot of people have been talking about. Only going to talk about the foundation because I feel like the primers and the powder, I just haven't had enough experience with it yet to really know my thoughts on it. I think the primers are nice, but I feel like I still have to try them with different products to see how they perform. But the foundation, I can definitely tell you guys that this has been a favorite of mine. I have it on my skin now. I love how lightweight and skin-like this feels. It's like honestly my dream finish in a foundation. Although I do have more oily skin, I just love a natural finish foundation. I think especially when you have texture like me, it just looks the smoothest and looks the most skin-like, which I feel like who doesn't want skin-like foundation? Like, I don't think people really want to look cakey. So this I have been enjoying. I have a full review on it. I'll link right up here. I have heard people with a drier skin type that don't really like this foundation, but if you have a skin type similar to mine and you have texture, acne scarring, I think you would really like this. I don't prefer a lot of foundations with a brush, but I definitely prefer this one with a brush. You get a lot more coverage out of it. I just love how it feels and looks on the skin. I think it's a beautiful new foundation. It does have a scent to it if you guys are sensitive to scents. I think this would be a little bit much for you because it doesn't linger a tiny bit. Personally, I don't notice it, but again, if you are sensitive to scented makeup, maybe stay away from this. Bouncing back to a mist product, this is the Hourglass Spanish Stick Foundation. I really wanted to love this foundation because it is a more fuller coverage foundation. But if you want to see me apply this, I have the full face of Hourglass video also on my channel. I just feel like this accentuates my texture a little bit. It doesn't sit the nicest on my skin. I think because it is so thick, it doesn't really just like, it sticks to texture instead of sort of smoothing over to the skin. I don't think this is like the worst foundation I've tried. I will definitely use it again, but it's just not something I've been reaching for. Now onto cheek products. There's been so many cheek products I've tried recently that have just blown me away and I've been loving. I have two bronzers here. First is the Pure Cosmetics Bronzing Act Matte Bronze Light. As you can tell, it is a very fair bronzer. If you have super pale skin, this would be perfect. It's just a very light tone, but it's buildable. Like even when I have a tan on, I feel like I can use this. It's super soft. It blends seamlessly. Like I don't think you could ever get this to look patchy. It's just an amazing bronzer. It smells like chocolate and I've just been reaching for this a ton. I actually have three bronzers. Next is the Hourglass Nude Bronze Light. Absolutely love this. has more of a glow to it. I have this one on today without accentuating texture, without looking obvious on the skin, and the tone of this is absolutely beautiful. I do have a bronzer swatch video if you want to see all of my bronzer swatch. That was another one of my recent videos. But this one's a little bit deeper than the pure one, and I just love the finish of it. I think it's totally worth the money. And the last bronzer I've been loving is the Cover FX Monochromatic Bronzer Duo. I love how you get the shimmer and the matte. I love to mix them, and it kind of gives a similar finish to the Hourglass one, where it is glowy, but it's not obvious or texture enhancing. This is, I feel like it's a very different tone than the other ones. It is warmer, it's very pigmented, especially this matte shade. I feel like I've gone overboard with it so many times, but with a light hand, this is a beautiful bronzer, and I also think this would work for a lot of skin tones. They do also have a deeper shade, and I really like the packaging of these as well. Moving on to blush, another Hourglass product I've been loving is the Ambient Mood Exposure. Specifically, this shade is just this gorgeous mauve with, again, that sheen through it without being obvious. So pretty. I just love how this makes the cheeks look juicy. Next, the Cover FX Monochromatic Blush Duo. Again, same thing as the Monochromatic Bronzer Duo. Really pretty, blends nicely. I actually want to pick up like the mauve tone shade of this one. I think that would be gorgeous and similar to the Hourglass one. But yeah, beautiful product there. The last blush favorite is something I haven't tried on my channel yet, but I really wanted to mention. It's the Tower 28. These are called their Magic Hour Luminous Lip and Cheek colors, and this is the shade Beach Please. This is just a pretty pink. I actually have this on my cheeks today. Very pigmented. I like to use this with a sponge, and it gives that glow without being oily. It lasts all day. It doesn't disrupt my foundation. It doesn't cling onto things. Really gorgeous blush formula. I also just love the packaging of this. They just recently launched at Sephora, which is amazing. So if you guys have been wanting to try these, I do recommend these. Moving on to some cheek product misses for me. I did try the new CoverGirl Clean Fresh line, and this is their cream blush. I don't think this is necessarily bad. It's just not something I reach for because it's so metallic. I just don't get a lot of wear out of it. This is the shade Sweet Innocence, I believe. Yeah, just not my favorite. I don't reach for it a ton. There's cream blushes and liquid blushes that I prefer over this. So I think this is a great, more affordable option, but it's not something I've really been inclined to use. And then same thing with the Clean Fresh Cooling Glow Stick. I accidentally got a translucent one. Like, I don't even know what the point of this product is. I'll have to try the one with the like shimmer in it, because actually YouTuber named Chessie really loves it. If you guys haven't heard of her, I will link her channel. She is so cool. She does so many nice full face videos, like super informative, authentic channels. She is just amazing. If you guys don't already subscribe to her, please do. She has amazing videos. And then there's one eyeshadow palette that has really stood out to me this month, and it's the PYT Warm palette. I've just been really inspired by these tones, specifically like these three are just perfect for an everyday look. Same with the brown. I could do like these three and that as a liner and just like good to go. I've been really into sort of like that warmer pink Charlotte Tilbury-esque type of eye, and I think these are really nice tones for it. It is unique. Although I have a lot of warm palettes, I think just these tones specifically, they're a little bit different. They're not as red. They're just really wearable, and I think the formulas are amazing. I enjoy the shimmers as well. They blend beautifully. I think it's a nice little compact palette, and more on that middle end of the price spectrum. And a brow favorite this month is the Glossier Boy Brow Boy Brow in Blonde. Chessie, who I just mentioned, gifted this to me. She was so sweet and sent me over some Glossier because I've never tried them and I've been wanting to try them for so long. This, I feel like before I tried it, I think it's a really overhyped product. Like, so many people rave about this, but I feel like it is a very unique brow gel. I've been using it every day. It just makes your brows look so full and realistic without really like having to add a lot. I've just been obsessed with this. I still do have to use like a brow pencil underneath. I have it on today, but I've been obsessed with this. It is sort of similar to the ColourPop Boss Brow Gel, but I think that one's a little bit more thicker and like harder to spread through the brows and can feel a little heavier. I definitely prefer this one over that. I was also scared the blonde shade would be too warm, but I think they did a really good job at not making it too warm tone. It's definitely more of a taupe shade, so really impressed with this. Then a mascara I've been using all the time, you've probably seen this in most of my videos, it's the Bare Minerals Lashtopia. Favorite mascara at the moment, I'm wearing it today. It has this very fat brush to it that picks up a ton of product. It can get really messy, but I love that you can layer this and it never, you know how you put on like a lot of layers of mascara, you could get those sort of thick tips to them where they look spidery and weird. This mascara does not do that. Even if I do a couple coats of it, it always looks smooth and it adds so much volume and length, and I just absolutely love the effect that this gives. Works for both top and bottom lashes, doesn't flake, doesn't smudge. I just really am impressed with this mascara and have been using it every day. Next I have two mascara misses. First is the Hourglass Caution mascara. I know that Jamie Page really enjoys this mascara. For me, this was flaky. It didn't really build up well. It didn't give me a lot of length or volume. It was kind of just mediocre mascara. I don't like this. Maybe it's just like an older one or something. I don't know. Not a fan. I wouldn't continue to use this and I wouldn't recommend it. And another mascara miss. I'm really sad that I didn't like this. I feel like I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's the Fit Glow Beauty Mascara. This isn't the worst clean mascara I've tried. It's actually one of the better ones. It has one of those bigger type of bristle brushes. I really love the effect this gives. My problem with this is that it flakes. So like, even though I love the effect, it's such a pricey mascara and it should not flake if you're paying that much money. So again, not the worst, but I wouldn't recommend it. Oh, I forgot. I also have one more eye product I was really impressed with. PYT Beauty, killing it again. I feel like they're sort of an underrated brand, but they make some really great products. This is the Glam Glitter Gel. I feel like glitter, it can really be a hit or miss, especially with a liquid product. But this applies so smooth. It's not like a chunky glitter, it's more of just like a metallic eyeshadow. It wears extremely well on the lids. It doesn't sting my eyes. You can use this as a liner. You can use it all over the lid. I think it's so pretty and a really unique product in the clean beauty space. I have one more miss and then the rest are going to be lip product favorites. This hurt. This hurt the wallet. I'm really upset that this was a miss for me. It's the St. Jane Luxury Beauty Serum. I purchased this during the Credo Beauty 20% off sale. Super expensive oil. It was like $100 with the 20% off. It has CBD in it, a good amount of CBD in it. For me, this was just too heavy on my skin. I was getting a lot of breakouts when I was using it. I'm not 100% sure that this was the culprit, but I just don't enjoy how heavy it feels. I think maybe if they went with some lighter weight oils, this would be nice. I think it just sits on the skin a little bit too much. I really wish this was nice because I love the idea of it. I love that it has CBD in it, but it's so pricey, and I think for the price, you really need to knock it out of the park for me. And this was just a lot. It was similar to so many other oils I've tried. It didn't really stand out. So unfortunately, this was a miss. I'm gonna have to try it again and see if it breaks me out. I really hope that it doesn't so I can keep using it and not waste it. Alright, and then I have 4 lip product favorites. I feel like there's a lot of lip launches and a lot of really good lip launches. First, the Bite Beauty, their new Power Move Creamy Matte Lip Crayons. These are not really matte. They are definitely more on the creamy side. I just really like the formula of these. I have like 2 different shades on my lips now. Super comfortable. I did do a swatch video of every single shade. If you guys want to watch that, I'll link it as well. But I just think they're really nice and portable and smooth, don't accentuate texture, all the good stuff. And then I have 2 lipsticks. This isn't a new launch, but it's just a shade I've been really loving. It's the Kosas Rosewater lipstick. I carry this around all the time. It's a pink with more of a cool tone, so I think it's really flattering for my skin tone. They also have Vegas, which is more of a neutral nude. If you have like a medium skin tone, I think that would be really gorgeous on you, but love that formula. And then Bare Minerals released the Hydra Smoothing Mineral Lipsticks, and these are like the Ilia tinted lip conditioners but with more pigment, so I absolutely love how comfortable they are. They don't accentuate texture. I wore this in my Cover FX video on my lips and I just love how it looks. Smoothing, definitely true to the name, and I think that's Bare Minerals makes some really great lipsticks. I always love their lipstick launches and this one didn't disappoint. And then lastly, I have a gloss from PYT that I also have been loving. It's their Fulfilled Lip Gloss. This is the shade Influence. It's this pinky nude. Is that the right one? Yeah. It's this pinky nude that has like a tiny bit of this purplish glitter, so it just makes your teeth look really white because it has that blue reflect in it. I just really love the shade. They're sort of a hybrid. They're not super creamy. They have a little bit of a stick to them, which makes them stay on the lips a lot better, but they're not sticky or uncomfortable to wear, and I really love the shade and the formula. And I think PYT this month have really been knocking out of the park for me. Like, so many of their products, I didn't think I was going to enjoy as much as I have. Alright guys, that was it for my end of the month roundup. I'd love to hear what you guys are loving this month or something you want me to try. Whether it's a brand or a product, let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I would love for you to join me and give this video a big thumbs up if you found it helpful. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.